Pistons Live is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. The Spurs get schooled on a Tuesday night in downtown Detroit. 122-96, the final. Isaiah Stewart and the Pistons bench help lead the way. Stu standing by as we send it back downstairs to Johnny K.
How we feeling?
Man, we feeling good. That's a good dub. We handled business and did what we supposed to do, so that's a good dub right there.
41 wins. You guys are now one win away from tripling last year's win total. What does that say about this team?
Man, it just goes to show, our perseverance, how hard we worked this offseason, and, just the great team camaraderie, how we all brought in. Coach JB's doing a great job leading us, Trajan, just the whole organization. We're doing our thing right now.
You guys are. In defense, I know is your calling card. You guys held the... There we go.
Yes, sir, baby.
As the owner of the team behind us. You guys held the Spurs to just 2 of 19 shooting in the second quarter.
Yeah.
They went about 11 minutes without a field goal. How much did that set the tone for the rest of the game?
That set the tone right there. That set the tone. When you come in and do that defensively, it does nothing but propel us offensively, allow us to control the tempo of the game, and, we did just that.
Everybody who played tonight scored, including Marcus Sasser, who had a career-high 27 tonight.
Oh.
When you think about everything he's gone through, what makes what he's done over these last 2 games so incredible?
It's just, you got to get your hat off to him because he stayed ready. A lot of games this season he didn't even play. It's a weird spot to be in. It's a funky spot to be in when you don't know when your name's going to be called. Hats off to him. Shout out, Sass. Every time his name is called, he ready to hoop.
All right, last one.
Come on, hey, let's hit him. My vet right here, man.
Why you got to do everything so physical, bro?
Physical.
All right, last one.
Yes,
last one. First place Cleveland Cavaliers come here on Friday. Last time they were here, Darius Garland hit that 31-footer at the buzzer to lift them to the top. How much you looking forward to Friday night?
We looking forward to it. That's it. That's all. We looking forward to it. We're going to accept that challenge from the start of the game all the way to the end. So we're looking forward to that.
Everything he does is physical.
Everything.
All right. Isaiah Stewart. 3 blocks tonight, Mickey York.
Oh, they're not having fun, are they? Welcome to Pistons Live at the Cure Auto Insurance Desk alongside Grant Long. I'm Mickey York. No Cade, no problem. The Pistons stick it to the Spurs tonight. And you heard Stu say it. There's a very business-like approach tonight. Yeah. They made it look easy against a team that had won 5 of 7 coming in here.
And I think Stu hit it right on the head. It was the approach that they had. Defensively is where this game was going to have to start, and the Pistons would have to influence the game on that end of the floor, and they did it. Their disposition that they came out with, Mickey, 35 points, I believe, the entire first half for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, the barometer for good defense is 25 points or less in a quarter. The Pistons did a great job on the defensive end of the floor, almost completely putting the brakes on the San Antonio Spurs offense. And as you mentioned, they had won 5 out of 7 games. So don't look at their record and think with the Spurs team without Wembanyama, they're just not playing good basketball. Well, they are. This is a very good basketball team in the San Antonio Spurs. It didn't look that way because of the Pistons defense. They came out with the right attitude and understood their calling card is defense, and they really played it to a T. Every man that took the floor understood the defensive assignment tonight and made it difficult for the Spurs to develop any type of rhythm on the offensive end of the floor.
They snatched the Spurs' soul with that scoreless drought in the second quarter, 10 minutes and 47 seconds, the second longest drought in an NBA game this season. And to your point about how well San Antonio was playing, they were also scoring 124 points per game this month alone. That was second best in the NBA, and the Pistons hold them under 100 tonight.
Again, this is the San Antonio Spurs. This is a system that is proven to almost have no faults. It won them 5 championships, obviously with different players, but this is the same system that they ran. So you think about what the Pistons had to do. Understand the assignment. J.B. Bickerstaff put it on the board, worked a couple of days on this assignment, and the guys carried out the assignment. They were everywhere that they needed to be in the passing lanes. And I think the biggest thing was denying their three-point shots. This was a team that was getting hot from the three-point line coming into this ball game. But tonight, that simply was not the case. The Pistons patrolled the painted area and took away those high percentage looks from the Spurs. When you can take away pretty much everything that they offered. It's going to be a difficult task for you to overcome if you're the San Antonio Spurs. And again, the Pistons were everywhere they needed to be defensively.
All right, let's go courtside with Kelser. Greg Kelser joins us now after calling tonight's game with George Baja. Greg, that's 41 now. 41 wins for the Pistons. Their most since the 2018-19 season when they last went to the playoffs. Look, I know we still have 9 games left to play, but I can't help it. I'm thinking about the postseason already, even though I know the Pistons really aren't allowed to look that far ahead just yet.
But we can.
We are. Yeah. I'm ready.
Yeah, it would almost take a disaster now, I think, for the Pistons not to finish in at least 6th place. After tonight's win, they're statistically tied with the Milwaukee Bucks, although the Milwaukee Bucks hold the current tiebreaker, but these two teams still will meet 2 times more at the end of the year. The Pistons go from 1-4 victories to 4-1 victories. That's 27-game improvement. Unbelievable, incredible. No one predicted this. I don't even know that the players would have predicted this, but they're just getting better and better and better. And they're, again, dealing with adversity like champs. No Cade, no Ivy, haven't been Ivy in almost 3 months. Right. The other night, no Hardaway, yet they just go out there and cruise to victory, and Sasser gets a chance to show exactly his 2 best games, I think, as a Piston. Right there, maybe 2 of his top 5 best games as a Piston have come in the last 2 games as he's been given playing time out of necessity because Cade Cunningham hasn't been there. And again, it just demonstrates the depth of this team, the maturity of this team, the ability to handle whatever is put before them. And this is great. Cade gets rest. He gets 2 more days rest. And, man, it's going to be a big showdown on Friday against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, they've essentially been able to give Cade a week off leading into that game against the Cavaliers on Friday. But how about Marcus Sasser the last 2 games? 47 points combined the last 2 games, a career-high 27 tonight. He was the Glassman Automotive Spark Plug. Can't say enough about what he's been able to do after coming on the floor from the very depths of the Pistons bench.
I'm putting the league on notice right now. Marcus Sasser is the player of the week in the Eastern Conference. Let's give it to him right now.
That's a good call, Grant.
Why not? Why not? He has played and showed that he is worthy of the award. The guy has been nothing short of miraculous, if you ask me, because, again, we've already noted how many games he sat, and a lot of those games he did not play. But he said it after the last game. He prepares like he's going to play 30 minutes. And to his credit, that is a big-time maturity of him showing maturity to do that every single night, not knowing if his number is going to be called or not. But the one thing that he does is stay ready, stays ready. You know my mantra, guys. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And this is proof that it's Marcus Sasser stays ready, getting to his shot. And some people might say, well, why was he playing late into the ball game? Well, you know what? Why not? The guy has missed 6, 7, 8, 10 games that he hasn't played at all. If he's got it going, if you're Coach Bickerstaff, let the guy finish the game. Let him play as long as he wants to play in this situation. And I was glad that Coach elected to keep him on the floor to the final horn.
Well, who are you going to bring in his place?
That's true.
He's the last guy. Okay? But if you go back a game prior, he was out there when the game was really on the line because he had played so well. So it earned the trust of the coaching staff and got the early nod tonight and, again, did not disappoint. And, Grant, I'm on board with you. His being Eastern Conference Player of the Week, that's legitimate. I'd imagine he might have to do something in that Cleveland game, and we'll have to see how they treat him minutes-wise if Cade Cunningham is back. But if the week ended right now, I think he would get that award because he also has 2 victories that he's played a big part in.
Yep.
That's a good call on your part. I'm hoping it happens.
Greg, does the way Sasser has played these last 2 games give this coaching staff some food for thought going into Friday and perhaps in these games down the stretch? Could we see a little bit more of him even after Cade returns?
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a really good problem to have, and I'm glad I don't have to make that decision because it might be hard. It might be hard to everybody's got a role on the team. And I don't know how much a role changes, because of, a guy, they've known all along that Marcus Sasser can play.
Right.
Okay. So all he needed was minutes and available and an opportunity. Well, that opportunity came because a player got hurt and wasn't available. Now you have to step up. Everybody gets to step up 1 or 2 pegs in the pecking order. I don't know that his role necessarily changes when Cade Cunningham comes back, we expect on Friday. But if I'm Marcus Sasser, I'm very happy that I gave you ample stuff to have to consider because his play these last two games has been incredible.
Yeah, granted, it's on the tape, and you know how valuable that can be, right? Whether they're looking at it here or elsewhere.
You're absolutely right. And here's the thing, Greg, you hit it right on the head. As a player, you can't force the coach to play you. But what you can do is provide enough evidence to say, you know what, I got to think about playing this guy. I got to find a way to get him on the floor because he's proven that he needs to be on there. And I'll say the second thing for Marcus Sasser, even if nothing changes here, I can about guarantee you that, and when the playoffs start, if he wasn't on somebody's as a player to be identified, he is certainly on the watch now that he'll be the guy, somebody that identifies the Pistons playoff opponent will identify Marcus Sasser as a guy that you need to be cognizant of when he takes the floor because he's proven that.
He is a little bit of a dimension there that they've been missing since Jaden Ivey's been out. He has that ability to slash to the hole, to get to the basket with his speed. So, like we talked about Ron Holland perhaps being one of those X factors come postseason time. You have Marcus Sasser should the situation dictate it as well. Look, Sasser was a part of another impressive performance by the bench tonight, Greg, outscoring San Antonio's reserves 60-39. It wasn't just Marcus Sasser off that Pistons bench tonight. It was a collective effort as well.
Well, when you've got Beasley who can come off, you got Isaiah Stewart who just changes the game defensively, and you get any scoring you get from him is a good thing. Holland with all of his hustle, Fontecchio on other nights. It's just a deep team, far deeper than any of us could have imagined. And all of these things are playing into this really good season, this turnaround story that the Pistons are fashioning. I find myself sometimes at a loss of words, just trying to bring into focus what we are watching. We are watching a young team grow, mature, get more confident, understand how to handle whatever's coming. And if this continues and they are at full strength come playoff time, I don't care who they get in the first round. That's going to be one heck of a series. And I don't doubt their ability to get past the first round the way they're going now.
Yeah, I'm on board with that one, Greg, because at the way that they're playing right now, some people will say, well, I'd like to see this team. I'd like to see this team over here come across with the Pistons. If they play like this, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. They're going to be competitive against anybody they draw.
They shouldn't fear anybody. If it's New York, they've won twice at Madison Square Garden. Of course, that don't mean anything when the playoffs comes.
Sure.
But nor does it mean anything that maybe they've struggled with Milwaukee in the past. It doesn't mean anything necessarily that they lost 3 out of 4 to Indiana.
Respect
all,
fear none.
What are they doing right now? Right now is what matters most. Yep. And that first round series is going to be a whale of a go.
It's cliche. You want to be that team nobody wants to play. The Pistons very well could be that team in the East if they continue to ascend into the postseason the way they are right now. It's been a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be a lot of fun again on Friday night when the Cavaliers come to town. Greg, we look forward to it then. We'll see you.
All right, guys.
All right. With 9 games left now in the season, we're talking about the playoffs, but J.B. Bickerstaff isn't allowing his team to look that far ahead just yet, saying we need to keep the main thing. And to his team's credit, they did exactly that tonight in taking care of business against the San Antonio Spurs. J.B. Bickerstaff handling some of his business at his post-game press conference as we take you downstairs, so listen in.
Coach, you held San Antonio to 96 points tonight. In the second quarter, you held them to just 2 made field goals. How special was the defensive effort in that quarter?
It was purposeful. This has been the conversation that we've been having, about our habits and how important those habits are, and that, no matter what we do, no matter what the results, we play to our standard. And I thought tonight, the guys paid attention to detail. They were locked in their execution. Their effort was great. It got off to a little bit of a shaky start where they were getting a bunch of just catch and shoot threes. But I think after that, first spurt, we did a great job of limiting their catch and shoot threes, making them put the ball on the floor more. And then the guys did a great job of rotating and protecting one another.
Again, tonight playing shorthanded. As good as Marcus Sasser was on Sunday against New Orleans, did he take another step forward tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's what Sass does. Like Sass has the ability to score the basketball. He's a threat whenever the ball's in his hands. He has the ability to create space. He can make shots. He can drive to the basket, create fouls. He's a scorer by nature. And, again, with Cade being down, there's points out there to be had. And I thought he did a great job back-to-back nights of going out and getting them.
JB, the team clinched at least a 500 record tonight with the win, and I know you guys haven't set any direct expectations or goals this season, but just another milestone for this team. Like, could you kind of feel that this might have meant something for the guys to have that marker for success this season of progress?
Not to be dismissive, but I don't think so, right? Like, they're so locked into what we're trying to do big picture, that, again, this is something that we'll talk about at another time. But, like, right now, they're only focused on the moment that's in front of them. And I think, again, that's been part of the reason why they've been able to grow and develop, because they just take the challenge that's in front of them. They don't look, down the road or, at those big picture things. So, I think their focus is just being dialed in to, whatever challenge that's in front of them, and then how we prepare for these last now 9 games.
Hey, Coach, before the game, you talked about how much Asar Thompson was putting in to break out of that little slump that he had. Just what was your overall thoughts of his performance tonight? I
thought he was really good. He was good early. He was aggressive early. He was active, getting to the rim, pushing the ball in transition, making plays, being attack-minded, helping us on the defensive glass, just doing all the things that he typically does. I thought he did a great job, especially early, of defending without fouling, so he could stay on the floor a little bit. But again, I thought he was great, and this is who he is when he gets to play. The foul trouble has been plaguing him a little bit, but when he gets to play, he impacts winning in a high way.
All right, just getting going here on Pistons Live. So much more to come. We'll hear from the aforementioned Marcus Sasser when Pistons Live continues following a 26-point victory over the San Antonio Spurs. Thompson was doing some stuff tonight. So was Marcus Sasser. But FanDuel's Make Every Moment More flashes us back to tonight's first hoop, and it was scored by Asar Thompson. He would finish with 14 points tonight. Asar getting out another break and laying that in for the first score of the night. If you put $10 on Asar Thompson to score first tonight, you would have won $90 in return with those plus 900 odds. 4 of the Pistons' 5 starters finish in double figures. Thompson, as I mentioned, finishes with 14 points tonight. His over for points tonight was set at 10.5, so he exceeded that. Nice bounce-back game for him after a couple of tough ones, Grant.
Yeah, I'd call it that, a very good bounce-back game for Asar. It's not like he lacked the effort in any of those games. He was just more connected with his offense tonight. Got some easy baskets, especially in transition. There he comes up with the steal. That's pure Asar Thompson-type basketball right there, generating some offense based off of his defense and activity on that end of the floor. And I thought tonight he came in with that right disposition to put himself in a great spot and be comfortable with what he was doing on the floor. I think that's vitally important to his success, to be comfortable in his own skin and getting into the space where he does what he does well. And that is play in those spaces, away from the ball, off the ball, movement, backdoor cuts, playing in transition, getting behind the defense for easy scores. That was the opportunities that presented themselves tonight for him.
6 rebounds, 3 assists for Asar Thompson tonight as well. Since the All-Star break, the Pistons bench has been averaging 47 points per game, 4th best in the NBA. Tonight, they go for 60, which was led by a career-high 27 from the recently rediscovered Marcus Sasser. We have found him at the podium for his post-game press conference presented by Cure Auto Insurance.
Marcus, congratulations on a new career-high 27 points tonight.
Appreciate that.
Only missed 3 shots. How good did you feel out there tonight?
Good, free. Just was out there, playing as hard as I can. Teammates did a good job finding me when I was open, knocking down open shots. But no, I feel good to go out there and get that dub.
Coach was just in here, and he's talked about this repeatedly, about how you guys – you don't necessarily celebrate the milestones that are coming along, although you guys continue to reach them. As a player, how are you guys able to just focus in on each individual game and not pat yourselves on the backs by accomplishing things that hadn't been done here in recent years?
I say our vets, Tim, Tobias, Bees, they know what it takes, to get there in the playoffs and advance. So just them staying in our ear, having us lock in every day, in practice in the game. I think that's, keeping us, locked in for every single game, every night.
All right, up next for the Pistons, the Eastern Conference leading Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll look forward to a Friday night fight here at Little Caesars Arena next on Pistons Live. The Pistons will wrap up the homestand on Friday night when they host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pistons Live gets us going at 6:30. They tip at 7 o'clock. Pistons looking for their first win against the Cavaliers this season. It's been close. Do they scratch that one off the to-do list on Friday night?
Well, hey, I said it, and I'm not going to back down now. The Pistons are playing a brand of basketball that I don't care who lines up against them. I think they're going to be competitive, and if they're competitive, they have an outstanding chance of actually winning the basketball game.
Watch out, Cleveland. We'll see you on Friday night. Pistons,
don't give them any bulletin board stuff.
They don't care what I have to say. Pistons take care of the San Antonio Spurs tonight, 122-96. For all of us at FanDuel Sports Network, thanks for watching. Good night, kids.
Good night, Romulus.